Professor Valundra Osk pressed 4 of her 6 hands firmly against the lecture podium and surveyed her biology class with the steady authority of someone who had taught Xenobiology for 30 standard cycles. Not once in her career had a student fainted during her lecture. That flawless record was about to end. Today, she announced to the packed auditorium of the Galactic Institute of Comparative Biology, "We will study the most controversial digestive system in the known galaxy. We will study the human." 47 students from 22 different species shifted uneasily in their seats. The Prillian exchange student, Yovithrin, leaned toward his quiet Durilian classmate, Imash Tullo. "How bad can it be?" he whispered. "They're so small." Imash had already read the pre-lecture brief. Without looking at him, he replied softly, "Do not ask that again." Professor Valundra activated the first holographic slide. A detailed cross-section of the human stomach lining filled the air above the podium. "Hydrochloric acid," she said calmly. "The human stomach produces enough of it to dissolve solid metal over time. This acid exists inside them. Every single day." Yovith blinked all 4 of his eyes. "Inside them? And they don't die? They produce a mucus barrier," the professor continued, "which prevents the stomach from dissolving itself." A heavy silence fell across the room. "They are dissolving themselves?" Vash muttered. "And stopping it at the same time." "Correct," Valundra replied. From the back row, Dorican, a massive Griever student whose species digested food externally through enzyme baths, slowly raised a thick arm. "Professor, is this where it becomes disturbing?" Valundra smiled faintly. "Dorican, we have not yet begun." The next slide appeared, a vivid anatomical diagram of the entire human digestive tract. 9 meters of coiled tubing compressed inside a body that rarely exceeded 2 meters in height. 9 meters, Yovith repeated slowly. 9 meters, Valundra confirmed. The intestines move food through rhythmic muscular contractions known as peristalsis. The process continues whether the human is awake or asleep, whether running or resting. It does not stop. "It never stops?" Yovith asked quietly. "It never stops." Dorican made the low rumbling sound his species reserved for threat assessments. The following slide materialized: gut bacteria. Humans host approximately 38 trillion bacterial organisms inside their digestive system, Valundra explained. They are not parasites. They are partners. These microorganisms help break down compounds the human body cannot process alone. Remove them, and the human becomes severely ill. Yovith half rose from his seat. "They are walking ecosystems." "Sit down, Yovith." "They are walking ecosystems, Professor." "Yes," she replied. "Now sit down." Then came the slide that shattered the room's composure. "The stomach lining," Valundra said evenly, "completely replaces itself every 2 to 3 days. The acid continuously damages it. The body rebuilds. The acid destroys. The body rebuilds again." Dorican lowered his head onto the desk. "They are in constant war," Vash whispered, "with their own insides. And they are winning," Valundra answered, "every single day, without even thinking about it." At that moment, a new voice entered the lecture hall. The human exchange student, Tavian Merrick, had been sitting quietly in the 3rd row the entire time. He had not spoken once. He had simply been eating from a small foil container, calmly lifting a fork between bites. One by one, every student turned to stare at him. Tavian looked up, glanced around the silent auditorium, then looked back at his food. "What?" he asked. "You are eating," Yovith said, pointing. "Right now." "Yeah, I was hungry." "You are feeding the acid." Tavian shrugged lightly. Yeah, that's kind of the point." Dorican slowly raised his head just enough to meet the human's eyes. "Does it not disturb you, knowing what is happening inside you?" Tavian considered the question with the relaxed expression of someone asked whether they preferred a window seat or an aisle. "Not really," he replied. "It's been doing this my whole life. It's pretty good at it." He took another bite. The Prillian student made a faint wheezing sound and sank back into his chair. Professor Valundra Osk closed her notes and looked over her shaken, fascinated, deeply unsettled class. In the middle of the lecture, she felt something rare. Pride. "Humanity does not survive because the universe is kind to them," she said. "Humanity survives because, at the cellular level, they are built for war, and they have made peace with it." Tavian finished his meal, folded the foil container neatly, and placed it into the recycling bin beside his seat. "Good lecture," he said casually. "Same time next week?" No one answered. They were all still thinking about the 9 meters. Please follow my channel for more videos. One click from you can change my life.